How are you? How are you finding in Sardinia?
I'm doing great. Oh my God, I feel like you can't complain here. It's so beautiful. And we have the weather's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
But anytime I come to Italy, I was just saying, like, there's this like feeling in essence here that I don't find anywhere else in the world that makes me love it so much.
So I have to ask you because you raised me. So with Alice Cullen in Twilight. So this movie came up 15 years ago, but it's still iconic. So I was wondering, uh, do you have still a part of Alice in you?
Yeah, I think there's definitely parts of her that will always live in me and that I wanted to. I think one of the beautiful things about doing what I do is that you get to become these different people and you get to walk in their shoes and you get to see different perspectives and you try and take the positives from each of those characters and then understand also the pitfalls of other characteristics. And so with Alice, I think she was such a beacon of light for so many people and was such a kind of positive being and very authentic. I think the authenticity is something that I'm still honestly working on to this day because sometimes it's just hard to truly be 100% yourself. That I think she had that in spades, and that's what made people so attracted to her. And so I certainly try and take that with me. And I've always been very loyal to my family and really protective of my friends and family, and so that certainly lives in me.
And so you have also a podcast about Twilight.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was wondering, there is some episode that came up talking with your co-stars, like something that stood out to you.
Oh, you know what stood out to me was that we all hadn't really processed what we had gone through. And the podcast, and I didn't intend for it to be this, but was really a way for us all to reconnect and to openly talk about and process what happened and what we went through and what we were feeling and what we felt during and after it. Because when we were doing Twilight, it was beautiful chaos, but it was so chaotic that we were just kind of like in the machine trying to keep up and living in this like very bizarre world. And it was a beautiful thing to be able to kind of unpack that with everyone. So I think with each guest that came on, there was kind of these special moments of me going, oh, I didn't know that about you. And it really reconnected us in a way that like now we have a Cullen like vampire chat that we're all a part of and we're very much involved in people's lives. So I think that's like the biggest takeaway is that we found this reconnection with our family.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I want to also talk about your new movie, The Ritual.
Yes.
So explore themes like fate, suffering, and mental illness. So I was wondering, how did you connect with those themes, and what did your character add to the depth of the film?
Yeah, I think that Rose was Sister Rose was kind of almost the emotional anchor to the film and gave you insight of what the parish and the nuns were having to battle with on a daily basis, because a lot of times in these exorcism type movies you don't really get to see that side of things and the toll that it takes on them and the work and the selflessness that these people have to go through and the positions they put themselves in to be able to help others. And so that was really important to me, and it was something that I gravitated towards. The mental health side of it was really challenging because you want to be authentic, and so going to those places was a very big challenge. But there's also some kind of catharsis that comes out of it, because there's when you have to go that deep into your soul, into the depths of your brain, and really open up what you connect to, that would allow me to portray Sister Rose in that way. It tells you things about yourself. It's almost like this form of therapy. And so I was very, very proud of everything we did afterwards. And I would just say, like, on the mental health side, I think it's so incredibly important that we're also talking about these things now. And I guess you see kind of in the film that whenever, because the sisters were not really allowed to talk about how they were feeling, what that can do to a person and the dangers of that. And so I think it's just so important. And I'm very proud of the steps that we've, I think, taken as a society to be able to openly talk about mental health. Like I have certainly, like I did something called Aura, and talked about the anxiety that I got from being, I think, a part of this industry and everything that was happening, and how sometimes it felt quite crippling, and how just being able to share that with people takes this load off your shoulders, because we're all, like, nobody has a perfect life, and I think everyone's suffering in some way or another, and so just being able to talk about it is so important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And last question, I wanted to ask you, how's your relationship with Italian cinema? Do you have a favorite movie?
You know what's funny is I didn't even realize this, but Pursuit of Happiness, for whatever reason, is one of my favorite movies, and is an Italian director. I don't like I haven't watched a ton of Italian movies, but I do. Sofia Coppola, even though she's not actually raised in Italy, I think pulls a lot of influence from Italian cinema. And Marie Antoinette is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I think there's this beauty in how it seems like to me in Italian film, it's not just, I mean, the performance is one thing, but you use kind of the mood and the kind of luxurious backdrops and food and costume to be able to create this world and evoke feeling before the actress or the actor even has to step on set and do anything. And it's almost like, I think in Italian cinema, you're really transported into this world. And it's really, I don't know, it's a very moving, beautiful thing. And I think it's much like being in Italy, honestly. I keep saying, like, there's something about this place that's an intangible thing that when I'm here, you just feel this, like, richness and this kind of warmth surrounding you. And I feel like that's very much portrayed in Italian cinema.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.